Hey guys, Corey here on the Hip Kit Club YouTube channel with a new scrapbook process video for you. So today I am doing mood board inspired, and this is this month's mood board. What I really love about it is kind of like the paint brushes that have like the ombre type of look, and then also the stars. So those are the two things that I'm pulling out as inspiration for this page. I had intended on doing a similar type of paint ombre, using just white acrylic paint and then the colors from the color kit for October. And so I started it, which is why that paintbrush is out, but it didn't come out good. And honestly, I was like, I didn't like it, so I just chunked it. I started going through my pattern paper and I found this striped paper that was already an ombre, and I had already used some of it, so it wasn't even a full sheet. So I was like, you know what, I could actually start with that instead. And I'm glad I did, because it actually just came out exactly how I was kind of envisioning the look to go in my head, just without the paint. I think it was actually the wise choice while I was making this page. So sometimes you just have to scrap what you don't like and start over. Luckily, I just hadn't gotten very far. The paint actually hadn't even dried before I was like, okay, I don't like this. I'm getting rid of it. Plus, I was actually using the purple color from the color kit, and I've been using a lot of the purple lately, and honestly, I wanted to use more of a pink anyhow, so this paper worked out just perfectly. So I just got these, the paper strips just kind of through my page. You saw how I was kind of just, each one is a little bit different. So one's torn. I used some punches. I cut some little banner pieces, doing different things like that, just to make each one a little bit slightly different from the rest. And then I'm just going to get all of these adhered down on my page and then embellish it. So I was watching something on my computer, like on YouTube or whatever, while I was doing this page, and it took me way longer than it should have, because I think I was so distracted. Sorry about that. So this video is probably longer than it needs to be, but it was just because I so easily would just like be like, oh, what's going on Dr. Phil, or whatever it was that I was watching. So I apologize that it's longer than normal, but because this actually was a very simple page, so it's uncharacteristic of me to take as long as it did. Usually when these pages especially are so simple, they go a little bit faster. But anyhow, so I'm just getting a little extra color on the page. What I liked about the inspiration, which you can also go find the mood board on the Facebook page, but what I liked about it too was there's like these little donuts, and they had gold flecks on them. So I'm like pulling in some of the gold. I'll eventually pull in some stars, and then I'm pulling in like this ombre pink thing. So it just worked out really great. The photo that I'm scrapbooking is of my daughters at Disney World. This was actually from 2018, and I've never done this before, but I taken in my big camera, like my DSLR, and did like a little mini photo shoot for one of my girls in front of the castle. And then I was like, oh, come on, you both have to get in there too. And I was doing it mainly for one, because it was like her birthday photos. That's where she wanted it. We happened to be there, and she's like, let's do my birthday photos at Disney. And I was like, okay. And then I pulled the younger one in for a couple pictures, and I got these great shots of the two of them together. It was just fantastic, and I was super excited. And then as I'm sitting here embellishing, like, how cool that there are these yellow different embellishments in the kit, or gold embellishments in the kits that like work with the photo so well, with the different like kind of gold speck like highlights in the background of the castle. And then in like her Mickey ears, there's a big gold bow on them and stuff like that. I don't know. It all just works so great. So anyhow, we were at Disney World for like 3 or 4 days last November. Always a fun trip. We love it. But it's funny because while my youngest is, we'll call her a princess. And of course, when we're at Disney, they always call the girls princesses. Really, my 15-year-old is the princess of the house. We often call her princess, kind of like almost mocking her. And she doesn't really catch the joke, I think, because she's pretty down with being a princess, which is kind of funny. So there's a lot of talk about how the two of them should live in the castle, etc. And so these photos were just kind of perfect out in front of it. And so that's also why I'm named this page Princess Days. I just thought it was pretty funny. So it's already November the 7th. So this is most likely my last page using the October kits. I might have one more page with them, but most likely not. Just from looking at the schedule, it looks like I'm definitely going to have the November kits here before my next page is going to be live. So I felt pretty good about embellishing or using embellishments kind of in a different way, which you'll see in just a few minutes. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit. I'm sorry. All right, so I dated it, and obviously this kit was a little bit, I mean, it's very fall, like, and I loved it. It was so cute. But like I've said before, we're not really in fall, like we're just barely getting into fall weather here. Our cold months really are maybe like January and February. I mean, we have worn short sleeves on Christmas before. So sweater weather, that one is, and because I'm still like wishing I was at the beach all the time, haven't really sat there and said, oh yeah, I'm going to be like all cozy and doing my pumpkin spice stuff. Now I'll go ahead and decorate for Christmas, but that's totally different than fall to me. So it was a little bit, challenging because I'm sitting here going, okay, well, I'm not really in that fall mindset, and I don't have any pictures really of my kids looking like fall or anything else. So those types of embellishments have been a little bit difficult. But what I love is that the mood board for this month it was just so different. It wasn't real fall. I mean, it has pink and black, and it definitely was very springtime to me. So I was like, oh, well, this is going to be really fun. And at the same time, it's going to be it's really going to kind of push you creatively to make sure that you can get, use the kit and also use the mood board. So this is how I figured out how to do it. So I went through the stickers. I have a little star punch, and I just punched stars out of the different cardstock stickers, out of the different cards from the Pocket Life kit. I even go in and punch stars out of some of the embellishments. So all the leaves and stuff like that, if they were pink, I was punching stars out of all that stuff. So, and since it's my probably most likely my last page out of this kit, I didn't feel bad about, just kind of saying, oh, well, I'm just going to really dive into this kit and use up these bits and pieces kind of in a non-traditional way. So, I have like the little clear ones here, like transparency pieces that are the leaves and stuff. I'm just punching stars out of all of that, and it ends up being a great embellishment. I use tons of different things. I'm actually going to have to, before I put these kits away, I'm going to have to go through and just kind of get out all of the things that I punch stars out of, because I know I won't use those, but that way I feel like I've done a good job using up this kit, even though I do have some, leftover pieces. But this is a great way to kind of use up different supplies, get the colors you want, but just not, changing them up and using them in a different way. So I'm getting all these little stars adhered down all over the page, and I'm trying to keep them kind of like in that same ombre look. So I'm putting the lighter ones over with the lighter pink on the left hand side, and I'm putting the darker ones over with the darker pink, and I'm putting purples over there too, over on the right hand side. And that way I've kind of stayed true to that look. I did end up actually punching out a star that's more blue, and I was like, okay, well, I don't want that on there. That didn't work at all. So I didn't have a problem with just taking that one off altogether. I love the blue, but it did not work for this page. So then once I had that, I just want to add a little bit of journaling just about how the girls believe that they're princesses, and especially at Disney World. We're talking about moving into the castle, which is hilarious to me. And then once I have the journaling on the page, y'all, it's done. So here it is, Thanks so much for stopping by and watching this video today. Unfortunately, I think most of these October kits are already sold out, but you can always head over to the shop over at hipkitclub.net and pick up your November goodies and your December documented kit. Otherwise, until next time, bye.